Hi everyone, very good morning to all of you. I hope you all are doing well. So let's begin with our CA class today, and please confirm is the audio and video good before moving ahead. Am I clearly audible? All right, thank you. So let's begin with the first segment, ESI Finance and Business News. The first news says Department of Post has introduced Gyan Post. So here, the Department of Post under Ministry of Communications, it has introduced Gyan Post. What is Gyan Post? Gyan Post is a dedicated postal service. So basically postal service hai. This is a postal service for affordable delivery of educational, religious books, cultural books, social books. So they want to deliver via the postal services affordable delivery they want to ensure of educational books, religious books, socio-cultural books, etc. Okay, so this is the purpose of Gyan Post. And this basically aligns with the new education policy objectives. Because what is new education policy's objective? The objective is to bridge educational divide, whatever divide is there, whatever inequalities are there regarding education. Okay, and this is operational through all the post offices in the country. So no specific post office, it will be operational via all the post offices. Remember that. Now minimum rate here will be 20 rupees for packets up to 300 grams for postal delivery, and maximum rate which can go is 100 rupee only. So this is how they want to make it affordable. 100 rupee for packets up to 5 kilograms excluding taxes. This is regarding Gyan Post. Then next, there's a data which says DBT, direct benefit transfer, they have surged 90-fold in the decade. India tops global real-time payments here. DBT, direct benefit transfers. Direct benefit transfer, you all know by now. DBT stands for this linkage, the Jam Trinity as we call it, right? Jam Trinity. DBT you call it, or you call it Jam Trinity, Jandhan, Aadhaar and mobile. Whatever the beneficiary has to receive will be directly credited into the bank account. Earlier there used to be intermediaries, but now with the introduction of DBT, all the benefits, all the subsidies, whatever the concession, whatever the benefit amount is there is directly credited into the targeted beneficiary's bank account here. So Finance Minister has informed that the direct benefit transfer has been risen by 90 times over the decade. In the past 10 years, it has risen by 90 times, okay, from over 7,000 crores to 6.83 lakh crores in the last financial year. 6.83 lakh crores, okay. And she has also informed that India also leads the world in real-time payments, as transactions more than 260 lakh crores were processed in 24-25. So basically, India leads the UPI-based transactions at the global level also. She has also said that nearly 18,600 crore transactions by volume are being handled annually. Volume की अगर हम बात करें, so these much transactions are being handled annually. So this is the data. Moving ahead, Moody's has upgraded Yes Bank's rating to Ba2 here. So the Moody's ratings has upgraded the rating for Yes Bank. Yes Bank's long-term foreign currency and local currency bank deposit rating को improve किया है उन्होंने from earlier Ba3 to Ba2 now, okay. And the reason is this is driven by gradual improvement in the bank's credit profile, and this Moody's basically has upgraded its बेसलाइन क्रेडिट असेसमेंट टू BA3 फ्रॉम B1. अच्छा, तो आपको बस इतना ध्यान रखना है कि मूडीज की जो रेटिंग्स है फॉर यस बैंक्स लॉन्ग टर्म फॉरेन करेंसी एंड लोकल करेंसी डिपॉजिट it has improved, okay, from BA3 to BA2. That's it. Then moving ahead with the regulatory bodies news, RBI recently has issued rules for activating inoperative bank accounts and unclaimed deposits. So if you have been following current affairs for past few months, we are noticing this thing, that RBI is constantly keeping an eye on the unclaimed deposits, right? So at least the definition of unclaimed deposits should be clear to you, very much clear, right? So let's see what are these new guidelines here. And remember, this is effective with immediate effect. A bank shall make available the facility of updation of KYC for activation of inoperative accounts and unclaimed deposits at all branches. जितने भी inoperative accounts हैं और there are unclaimed deposits, उनका KYC should be provided by a bank at all the branches, okay, including non-home branches. तो ये सारी ब्रांचेस जितनी भी हैं किसी भी बैंक की, any KYC update regarding inoperative or unclaimed bank accounts has to be provided so that people can easily do that KYC updation. Okay, first point. Next, a bank shall endeavor to provide facility of updation of KYC in such accounts and deposits through video customer identification process. If required, video customer identification process should also be provided in all such accounts. The services of an authorized business correspondent of the bank may be utilized for activation of inoperative accounts. BC model we have discussed a lot of time, banking correspondent model. Banking correspondent model jo hai, it was an initiative started for financial inclusion. Sometimes what happens is, for banks this is not possible to expand its branches across all the regions, right? So BC model जो हमने start किया था, as we call it, say banking correspondent or business correspondent. Banking correspondent का basically purpose ये था, जितने भी आपके retired, all those say retired army personals हैं या government officials हैं, individuals, if they want to extend some basic banking services through their homes, है ना, तो वहाँ पर license लेकर and they can do that. They are also provided with the passbook, a proper almirah for documentation and all. तो उनकी भी help ले सकते हैं for KYC upgradation. In total, RBI wants all these inoperative bank accounts and unclaimed deposits to be settled, right? This is the purpose. Now, if you see what are inoperative accounts and unclaimed deposits, exactly how do we classify them? So, bank accounts that haven't been used or operated for 10 years or more, remember. Which accounts we are saying that they are inoperative? If no one has used those accounts for 10 years at least or more than 10 years. Remember this thing, okay, are considered inoperative. Similarly, deposits that have remained unclaimed for a decade, that means again 10 years, also fall under this category. And as per the existing rules, the balance in such account is required to be transferred by the banks to the Depositor Education and Awareness Fund maintained by the RBI. Remember, so 10 years आपको ध्यान रखना है, bank account not operative for 10 or more years, inoperative. Unclaimed deposits, not claimed for 10 or more years, unclaimed deposits. But these deposits then have to be transferred by the respective bank to Depositor Education and Awareness Fund. Who maintains this? RBI maintains this. Now the question is, if that amount has been transferred to this fund maintained by RBI, then can the person claim that unclaimed deposit? Yes, you can still claim it, right? This is just to clear off the bank's balance sheet that it has been transferred to the fund managed by RBI. The person can still claim it. So this is the entire thing. Moving ahead. आज हमारे पास regulatory bodies news में जो basic news है, they are regarding KYC guidelines. Okay, so different news are there, different circulars are there. First thing we have discussed the KYC requirement regarding inoperative bank accounts and deposits. Now next, RBI KYC amendment directions 2025 are there. Okay, KYC amendment directions 2025. So some important facts we are going to discuss here. First of all, RBI has issued fresh directives requiring all banks and the regulated entities to issue timely and repeated notifications to customers for periodic KYC update. First of all, RBI says all the banks as well as all the regulated entities, you have to provide to your customer timely update, time to time update, that you need to update your KYC. Okay. Next, a new rule is added before the paragraph 38A of KYC master direction. It applies to individual customers who are classified as low risk. Okay. Now, what is this provision? लो रिस्क जितने भी इंडिविजुअल कस्टमर्स हैं उनके लिए है, ये आपको ध्यान रखना है। लो रिस्क कस्टमर्स, बैंक्स और अदर फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस, जो भी आपके रेगुलेटेड एंटिटीज हैं, they must all allow transactions for these low risk individuals even if their KYC is not updated yet. Remember this point. But this is specifically for low risk individuals. Even if their KYC is not updated, banks and all the REs, the regulated entities, have to provide transactions at least. Then, however, they must update the KYC within 1 year of its due date or by June 30th, 2026, whichever is earlier. But such individuals, they have to update the KYC within 1 year of the due date. जो भी ड्यू डेट है उसके 1 ईयर में, और जून 30, 2026, whichever is earlier. That means जून 30, 2026 तक तो आपको KYC अपडेट करना ही है. एंड मीनवाइल वी आर प्रोवाइडिंग यू दिस फैसिलिटी एंड फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शंस इवन इफ योर KYC is not updated. I hope this much is clear to all of you. Now moving ahead in this segment only, the next thing which we have, there is another paragraph inserted, 38A subclause IIA, namely use of business correspondent by banks for updation or periodic updation. As I told you, banks must inform customers well before and after KYC is due, at least 3 times before and 3 times after, with 1 letter in each stage, and must maintain records of this. So first of all, आप banking correspondents की help ले सकते हैं for KYC updation. Second thing, the rule says कि banks को कम से कम 3 महीने 3 टाइम पहले and 3 times after, before and after KYC is due. तो आपको 3 टाइम इनको इन्फॉर्म करना है with 1 letter in each stage and must maintain the records. Okay, remember. And this has to be followed by all the banks and regulated entities by 1st January 2026. Then we have another circular here which says updation or periodic updation of KYC revised instructions by RBI. So this says RBI has observed that a large pendency in periodic updation of KYC is there. बहुत ज़्यादा pendency है, okay, in the periodic updation of KYC, including in the accounts opened for credit of DBT, etc. जो scholarship और beneficiaries के account है उनमें भी है. So in order to further ease the process for convenience of the customers, the instructions regarding updation, periodic updation, have been amended with the intent to allow banking correspondents to facilitate in the process of KYC updation. So first thing, it is also saying the same point, highlighting the same point again, that banking correspondents can be used for KYC updation. This thing now should be clear to all of you. Next thing, it says the processes of onboarding customer and updation of KYC have been simplified and the same are given below. क्या क्या प्रोसेस इंक्लूड होंगी? फेस टू फेस मोड फॉर द कस्टमर, नॉन फेस टू फेस मोड्स फॉर ऑनबोर्डिंग द कस्टमर, एंड कस्टमर ऑनबोर्डिंग यूजिंग वीडियो बेस्ड कस्टमर आइडेंटिफिकेशन प्रोसेस. सो ऑल दीज 3 mechanisms they will be used, okay? Face to face, non face to face, and video based customer identification process. See, video based customer identification process कई बार use होता है for the people who are unable to say blink properly and all, right? So we have these 3 mechanisms. You can choose any of them as per the requirements. तीनों processes identified है. Then simplified process of updation. Let's see, self declaration. Regulated entities will be allowed to obtain self-declaration regarding no change in KYC information or a change only in address from customer using digital and non-digital modes. अगर कोई customer है जो updation में ये submit कर रहा है कि कोई change नहीं है या से सिर्फ address ही change हो रहा है, तो उसके लिए REs will be allowed to obtain a self-declaration. That means the customer has to provide a self-declaration. Okay. Then the updation or periodic updation of KYC records are allowed to be carried out at any branch of the RE with which customer maintains the account. Any bank or any regulated entity जिसके साथ भी आपका account है, you can do this updation at any branch of it. Okay. Remember this thing. Then Aadhaar OTP based eKYC and video identification, they are permitted for purpose of updation of KYC. That means Aadhaar OTP based KYC can also be generated or can be updated. REs have been directed to update customers KYC information based on the updated notification received. Okay, तो ये गाइडलाइंस है यहाँ पर. तीनों circulars हमने देख लिए हैं regarding KYC. There were certain points which we have seen. Yes. So now it is very much easier and they want all of this to be settled because you know what, a lot of pendency has been there. Now next news, Nabard has got approval to raise 19.5 thousand crores via deep discount zero coupon bond. So this figure is important here. The Nabard has obtained approval to raise up to 19,500 crores, which is almost $2.3 billion through deep discounting bonds. Itna they can raise through deep discounting bonds. Now what are these deep discounting bonds? See, there are certain bonds, you know, T-bills and all. How they are issued? There is a method called issued at discount and redeemed at par. Issued at discount and redeemed at par. Redeemed at par. Yes. इशूड एट डिस्काउंट का मतलब क्या है कि फेस वैल्यू से डिस्काउंट पे इशू किया जाएगा, तो आपको अलग से इंटरेस्ट नहीं मिलेगा, जो डिफरेंस है वही आपकी अर्निंग है. आर यू गेटिंग? जीरो कूपन बॉन्ड्स कैसे वर्क करते हैं? यू नो नन एनी कूपन ऑन टू दैट, बट से अगर फेस वैल्यू, yes, face value if say is 1,000 rupees, they might be issued to you at say 850 or 800. Now whatever is this difference, जब भी आप redeem करेंगे तो redeem face value पे हो जाएगा, यानी 1,000 पे redeem हो जाएगा. So you have earned it. आपने 800 में खरीदा, 1000 में redeem किया, you have earned this. This is how we call the mechanism issued at discount and redeemed at par. At par मतलब at the face value. अब ये डीप डिस्काउंट बॉन्ड्स क्या होते हैं? दे गेट अ वेरी डीप डिस्काउंट, जैसे 20-25% तक के डिस्काउंट पे दे विल बी इशूड 20-25% तक. So this is how we call it deep discount. Now via this Nabard has been allowed to raise up to 19,500 crores. ये अमाउंट आपको यहाँ पर ध्यान रखना है. And it can raise these funds via this deep discount zero coupon bond. They will mature in 10 years, 11 months and 13 days until the end of March 2027. And as I have told you, the discount is generally over 20-25%. They are similar to zero coupon bonds, which are issued at discount and redeemed at par. Alright, now next one says RBI allows strips trading for state government bonds to boost liquidity. So basically, RBI has allowed separate trading of registered interest and principal of securities. Stripes आप इसको बोल सकते हैं. First of all, we need to understand this concept. Stripes, separate trading of registered interest and principal of securities. होता क्या है? आपका एक बॉन्ड है, just for example, बॉन्ड का से प्रिंसिपल है आपको 1000 जो मिलना है रिडम्पशन पे, उसका आपको से 10% मिलना है, राइट? सो 100 आपको जो भी आपका कूपन है मंथली एनुअली वो मिलना है. नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस इज, जितना इंटरेस्ट आपको मिलना है, प्रिंसिपल आपको मिलना है, इनको व्हेन वी डिवाइड देम वी स्ट्रिप देम अवे. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस थिंग. वी स्ट्रिप देम अवे. दैट मीन्स ऑल दिस इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट, जो भी आपका इंटरेस्ट पेमेंट है, से एनुअल है और वो 5 साल के लिए है, तो 5 साल का कितना हो गया? अगर 100 हम मान के चले तो 500, जस्ट फॉर एन एग्जांपल, राइट? तो ईच 100 का हमने एक अलग से सिक्योरिटी बना दिया, प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट को अलग से बना दिया, एंड दे ऑल विल बी ट्रेडेड सेपरेटली. दिस इज व्हाट वी मीन बाय स्ट्राइप्स. इज दैट पॉइंट क्लियर? Suppose you receive 100 rupees as coupon annually on a bond for 5 years. तो तो 100 का 5 अलग से बन जाएगा, प्रिंसिपल अलग से बन जाएगा, एंड दे कैन बी ट्रेडेड सेपरेटली. दिस इज व्हाट वी मीन व्हेन वी स्ट्राइप अवे द सिक्योरिटीज इंटरेस्ट एंड प्रिंसिपल. इज इट क्लियर? यस और नो? Yes, anyone? Tell me. Yes, clear? All right. So now what RBI has allowed is, RBI has allowed this kind of facility for state government securities as well. Okay. Now state government securities ke liye allowed hai, so that means state governments can use this facility to raise additional funds. Because it was already available for the central government bonds but was not available for the state government securities. Now it would be available with immediate effect. It would apply to all the fixed coupon securities. That means जो भी fixed coupon है, which do not change, right? Issued by the state governments or UTs. Now, when we say state government here, we also mean that it is applicable to the UTs as well. Conditions क्या है eligibility की? There are certain conditions. First of all, residual maturity must be 14 years or less. यानी जब आप इसको अप्लाई कर रहे हैं तो उस बॉन्ड की जो मेच्योरिटी है, रेसिडुअल मेच्योरिटी, इट शुड बी 14 years or less, okay, from the date of stripping. जब आपको स्ट्रिप करना है, you want to separate this interest and principal, at least 14 years or less की उसकी होनी चाहिए, उससे ज्यादा नहीं. Then minimum outstanding amount should be 1000 crores or more on the stripping day. जो भी आउटस्टैंडिंग अमाउंट है उस सिक्योरिटी में, इट शुड बी 1000 करोड़ और मोर. The securities must be eligible for SLR investments and they must be transferable. SLR इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए एलिजिबल होनी चाहिए. SLR इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए कौन कौन सी सिक्योरिटीज एलिजिबल होती है? यू ऑल नो, गवर्नमेंट जो इशू करती है, T-bills, G-Secs जिनको हम कहते हैं, गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज, राइट? Whatever the eligible securities are there for SLR. SLR में आपको पता है, it has to be maintained into 3 forms: gold, securities and cash. So it is applicable for those securities which are also eligible to be there, capped under SLR. Second point, they should be transferable. Transferable securities क्या होती हैं? Which can be easily transferred. The ownership can be easily transferred, जैसे shares, stocks, जिसकी ownership easily transferable है. Okay, shares and stocks between different owners. So this is how the news is. Then if you see, how will you place a request for this? Okay, so market participants having an SGL account with the Reserve Bank can place request directly in the RBI core banking solution, that is eCubail platform for stripping or reconstitution. ऐसी सिक्योरिटीज का रिक्वेस्ट कहां पर एक्सेप्ट होगा? तो आपको याद रखना है, eCubail CBS प्लेटफॉर्म पे होगा. और कौन इसके लिए एलिजिबल है? ऑल द मार्केट पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैविंग SGL अकाउंट. व्हाट इज SGL अकाउंट? टेल मी, व्हाट इज SGL अकाउंट? सब्सिडरी जनरल लेजर अकाउंट. सब्सिडरी जनरल लेजर अकाउंट, ये अकाउंट क्या होता है? सी, बैंक्स 2 टाइप के अकाउंट्स मेनली मेंटेन करते हैं. एक जिसमें डे टू डे बैलेंस रखते हैं, okay, and there is one account in which they keep the government securities. Okay, तो SGL account जो है इसमें बैंक सिक्योरिटीज मेंटेन करते हैं अपनी. All right, they can place this on CBS or eCubail platform. And request for such stripping or reconstitution by gilt account holders can also be placed with their respective account. Gilt account holders, SGL account holders कर सकते हैं, market participants, gilt account holders. Now you know that gilt account can be opened by individual retailer as well, right? Because under the retail direct scheme, if you want to trade, an individual retail investor can also do that. You have to open a gilt account with the RBI. तो ऐसे जितने भी account holders हैं, they can also place the request for this. Nomenclature, ISIN हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, तो इसका जो ISIN जो आइडेंटिफिकेशन नंबर होगा, एंड नॉमेनक्लेचर जो होगा विल बी सिमिलर टू स्ट्राइप्स इन द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट डेटेड सिक्योरिटीज. जितना भी आपका सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज के लिए नॉमेनक्लेचर होता है, ISIN दिया जाता है, इट वुड बी सिमिलर टू दैट. I hope this news is clear. Then next one is SEBI mandates minimum 2 yearly PSE meetings for commodity exchanges. So here the SEBI has directed stock exchanges with commodity segments ऐसे जो भी स्टॉक एक्सचेंजेस हैं जिनके पास कमोडिटी सेगमेंट्स हैं, कमोडिटी मार्केट्स के सेगमेंट्स हैं, दे हैव टू इंश्योर देयर प्रोडक्ट एडवाइजरी कमिटीज मीट एटलीस्ट ट्वाइस अ ईयर. एटलीस्ट ट्वाइस अ ईयर है, दे कैन मीट मोर फ्रीक्वेंटली बट एटलीस्ट 2 times in a year. Okay. However, in the case of agricultural commodities, the product advisory committee is required to meet at least once annually. Particularly agricultural commodities की अगर हम बात करें, so then it would be required to meet once annually. और अगर हम ये देखें, what is the requirement for PACE? As per the master circular, each stock exchange is mandated to constitute a product advisory committee for every group or complex of commodities that share common stakeholders or value chain participants and on which derivatives are either currently traded or proposed to be introduced. जिन commodities पे derivatives या तो propose हो रहे हैं या they are currently traded, उनके लिए आपको ये product advisory committee बनानी होती है. Okay? Again, this advisory or guidelines are in effect immediately. So remember this thing. Moving ahead with the banking news, we have India's first credit card with UPI and Visa in one and zero forex fees here. This is Scapia. Scapia, India's fast-growing travel-first fintech platform, in collaboration with the Federal Bank, has launched a credit card which blends RuPay plus Visa networks, combines UPI payment with credit and offers a strong travel perks. जैसे आपका ये सारी चीजें एक सिंगल कार्ड में है. रूपे और वीजा नेटवर्क्स हैं, यानी रूपे और वीजा पावर्ड है. यूपीआई पेमेंट्स भी हैं विद क्रेडिट. ओके. Now Visa network will be operating for domestic and international online offline purchases and RuPay will enable UPI credit payments. So both of them are provided in one single card. For this, Scapia has collaborated with the Federal Bank. Remember this thing. Next one, ICICI commits 550 crores for Tata Memorial's Cancer Care Center in Vizag. ICICI Bank has said that it will be collaborating with Tata Memorial Center to construct an 8-storied building at the Homi Bhabha Cancer Hospital and Research Center in Visakhapatnam to serve 3,000 patients annually, और उसके लिए it has committed 550 crores of rupees. This is just factual information. Then Nadarnak Capital has received RBI's approval for undertaking factoring business. Nadarnak Capital Limited has received approval from the RBI to undertake factoring business, and this allows the company to commence and carry on the business of factoring, which involves purchase of receivables from the companies to help manage working capital needs. Factoring क्या होती है? Particularly in the case of MSMEs हमने काफी बार डिस्कस किया है, और अगर factoring को हम MSMEs के in context of MSMEs, if we try and understand, so you must know the Trades platform has been developed to offer factoring to the MSMEs. What is factoring, anyone? Anyone? What is factoring? ओके, सो सी बेसिक अगर हम इसका अंडरस्टैंडिंग देखें, हमने पहले भी डिस्कस की हुई है चीज़. कई बार क्या होता है, फर्म्स नीड वर्किंग कैपिटल, राइट? नाउ सपोज दिस इज अ फर्म एबीसी. इसका कोई, नाउ दिस एबीसी ओज सम ट्रेड बिल्स. दैट मीन्स इसने XYZ को कुछ दिया. नाउ सपोज दिस इज एन MSME. इसने कुछ सेल किया, एनी प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस टू XYZ. ओके, नाउ सपोज दिस इज डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट ओनली, गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट. बट अभी पेमेंट जो रिसीव होना है, इट इज से has not been received yet, will be received say in 3 months. But now this MSME needs working capital. Particularly I am telling you in the case of MSME because इससे आप relate कर पाएंगे. And ट्रेड्स प्लेटफॉर्म बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो यहाँ पर हम नदर नाग के केस का बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, इंडिया के केस का बात कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर. तो MSME को वर्किंग कैपिटल चाहिए. नाउ व्हाट इट कैन डू इज देयर इज अ थर्ड पार्टी कॉल्ड फैक्टर. It can do what? It can sell this whatever trade bill is there outstanding. It can sell this to factor at a discounted price. अगर मान लो इसकी वैल्यू थी 1000, it can sell it to the factor at say 700, 800, 900, whatever the discount is. The factor will make it payment, will pay to the MSME or ABC. इसको अपना पैसा मिल गया. अब factor इससे रिसीव कर लेगा on the due date. डिस्काउंट पे मिला, पूरा रिसीव करेगा. 1000 आना था तो फैक्टर की अर्निंग हो गई, MSME को वर्किंग कैपिटल मिल गया और कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, वर्किंग कैपिटल भी रेज हो गया. दिस इज हाउ वी से द फैक्टरिंग इज डन. इज दैट क्लियर? यस और नो? गॉट इट? सो एंड दिस वी हैव अ पर्टिकुलर डेडिकेटेड प्लेटफॉर्म. क्योंकि मैंने आपको MSME का रेफरेंस दिया तो उसके लिए ट्रेड्स प्लेटफॉर्म है, तो वो आपको ध्यान रखना है. Now coming back to the news ये है कि Nabard Nag Capital Limited has received this approval from RBI to undertake factoring business. So that means it can work as a factor in this entire process. Okay. Then we have Minority Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju inaugurating Lok Samvardhan Parv here. Lok Samvardhan Parv इन्होंने inaugurate किया है at Rajghat, where they have showcased talents, traditions, cultures of minority communities. Okay. State news में Asian Development Bank has approved $109.97 million loan to boost employability in the state of Gujarat. तो गुजरात में employment improve करने के लिए $109.97 million loan Asian Development Bank has approved. MOUs की बात कर लेते हैं. Singrani Collieries Company Limited and Bhubaneswar-based Institute of Minerals and Materials Technology have signed MOU to explore and produce critical minerals. Critical minerals के लिए जो भी MOU sign हो रहे हैं ये भी important है, which are found in these Singareni mines using modern technologies. Critical minerals के exploration के लिए the MOU has been signed. Then Maruti Suzuki has tied up with Equitas Small Finance Bank to provide retail financing options for the new cars. Okay. Then Serum Institute has signed MOU with the Drugs for Neglected Diseases Initiative. Drugs for Neglected Diseases Initiatives to accelerate clinical deployment and development of monoclonal antibody treatment for dengue that will be affordable and accessible in low and middle income countries. Dengue जो है बहुत prevalent है, particularly in the low and middle income countries. So to make treatment affordable and work on that, they have signed this MOU, Serum Institute with the Drugs for Neglected Diseases Initiative. Mergers and acquisitions में we have ICRA Limited and Fintech India. So ICRA has entered into a agreement to acquire Fintech India for $26 million, 100% stake. 100% stake. Then Indices and rankings where Forbes World's real-time billionaire list 2025 is there. So here you can see first position is held by Elon Musk, second is Larry Ellison, third is Mark Zuckerberg, and fourth one is Jeff Bezos. So these are top billionaires list by Forbes. Sports की बात करते हैं. Wimbledon prize money has been announced. It has been revised. So Wimbledon's prize money has risen to a record 53.5 million pounds. Okay. Appointments में we have Prashant Kumar appointed as MD and CEO of Yes Bank. तो 6 month का extension RBI ने इनको दिया है. Then Kirti Ganorkar, MD of Sun Pharma. K. Ramchandran, Chairman of Tamil Nadu Mercantile Bank, and Akio Toyoda, re-elected as Toyota's Chairman. Toyota's Chairman. So these are the key appointments which we have. And that's it for the CA. Now, top 5 MCQs discuss करते हैं. First one, Finance Ministry has informed that direct benefit transfer has been rising. It has risen by 90 times over the decade, from over 7,000 crores in 2014 to how much lakh crores in the last financial year? The correct answer is 6.83 lakh crores. Okay, option C. Yes. Next one. So this is regarding RBI's recent directives of KYC updation. So they must update the KYC within how many years or months of due date, or by June 30, 2026, if you want to get this benefit of flexibility of transactions being provided by the bank, even if you haven't updated your KYC. Yes, tell me. Yes, within 1 year, right? Within 1 year or 30th June 2026, whichever is later or earlier, right? 1 year. Then next one, India's central bank has allowed the separate trading of registered interest and principal of security, stripes facility for state government securities now. Okay, and they will be available for central government bonds as well. Minimum outstanding amount जो है for such securities as per the eligibility criteria should be how much crore rupees or more on the stripping day? 1,000, absolutely correct. 1,000 crore rupees or more. Next one, SEBI has directed all stock exchanges with commodity segments to ensure that their product advisory committees meet at least how many times a year? At least how many times a year? At least 2 times, right? Twice. Yes, option C. Then which of the following fintech company has received approval from the RBI to undertake factoring business in India? Factoring business. Well done. Northern Arc Capital Limited. Northern Arc Capital Limited. The learning exercise for all of you. India's Nabard has obtained federal government approval to raise up to how much crore through deep discount bonds? ये आप comment section में बताएंगे answer to this question, everyone. And that's it for today's CA class. I hope you have enjoyed the class. आज हमने काफी important चीजें discuss की है, so please revise it thoroughly. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Have a good day. See you all in the next session.